Hey everybody, I'm Christopher Greene. You're tuning into amTV Alternative Media Television. This is a warning, and it may be the last that Americans get, the millions of you tuning in, and those of you tuning in around the world. And again, this is global. It affects all of us. In my humble opinion, the United States is entering a hyperinflationary collapse, and we will start to see this take root this year in 2014 and into the future, into 2015 and beyond. This is the last opportunity where you'll be able to get cheap credit, where you'll ever see 4.5% interest rates on the 30-year mortgage, where you'll ever be able to get a loan from the bank without putting 20% down on your next home purchase, where you'll ever get to buy silver at a ridiculously undervalued $21 an ounce, gold at a ridiculously undervalued $1,300 range an ounce. Ever. This is it. And the policies that the Obama administration and the federal government has put into place guarantees this. Guarantees an inflationary depression here in the United States of America. They've only compounded the problem that we experienced in 2008, having blown up extraneous, extreme, hyperbolic bubbles that collapsed in 2008, right in everybody's faces, and made the people of the world and Americans pay for it with their wallets, with their homes, with the bankruptcy of their businesses, with the foreclosure and short sale of their homes. Now, we're seeing this locally in Phoenix right now. In fact, I'm very in tune with the local Phoenix real estate market. Property values are up in some cases over 50% in less than 24 months. Let me repeat that, up 50% in less than 24 months. Again, on 0% interest rates and easy credit. These are the same kind of crazy, insane, ridiculous returns that we saw prior to the collapse in 2008. What's coming next is going to make this look like a church picnic. In my opinion, it's going to become a lot more difficult to get any kind of access to credit in the future. What we have on our hands is more of an extension of the same policies that got us here in the first place, namely the suspension of the debt ceiling. In fact, Republicans and Democrats showing that, again, they are simply a one-party system that are covertly working against the best interests of the American people, savers, taxpayers, and retirees, really just people in general, especially the naive, and not all of you, I don't want to label all of you, but good portions of the Generation Y and younger generation that are too busy on their iPods and iPads to really realize what's happening to America, that they're losing their freedom, that according to the Heritage Foundation, the United States is now fallen out of the top 10 most free, economically free countries in the world. In terms of our freedom for journalists, people like me, we're in the 40 range. We're not even in the top 10, the top 20, the top 30. We're in the 40s for journalistic freedom. With the recent coming to light that we already knew before, but just proved it to us through the leaks of Edward Snowden, that you're all being wiretapped and surveilled literally right now as you're watching this video. The extension of the debt ceiling really wasn't even an extension that they put out and really just kicked the can down the road till March 2015. It's not an extension, it's a suspension. They didn't raise the debt ceiling from $17 trillion or higher, they just suspended it. Could you imagine if you went to your credit card company and told them not only are you not going to pay your bill, but that you don't want them to raise the ceiling, you just want them to give you an infinity amount of money so that you have the ability to spend an infinity amount of debt. That's what the federal government has done, and it's clearly unsustainable. The federal government, of course, wants inflation. They're driving inflation. That's why they're printing the dollar. That's why they're doing quantitative easing. That's why they're spending, $1 trillion plus a year and tens of billions of dollars a month on QE to infinity, because they want inflation. They want to destroy the dollar so that they can service the massive debt load that they can never pay back. Can you imagine how this is going to cripple the economy as businesses fire and do not hire in an environment that already has sustainably high levels of unemployment? This all spells catastrophe, folks. This all spells a hyperinflationary environment here in the United States, and you don't have a lot of time left. I wish that this was bullshit. I wish what I was telling you was hyperbole, but it's not. This is the reality. This is the hardcore truth. You better take precautions. You better act now before it's too late. Before you see prices skyrocket to a point where you wonder why you and your friends and your family are on the streets, because you haven't protected yourself, because you haven't done your homework,
homework, you haven't done your due diligence, and you're being raped by the administration that marks Obama's kingship, this hijacking of the constitutional republic and the United States of America. Again, President Barack Obama, no different from Frank Underwood's character in the Netflix show House of Cards. They're only interested in their own self-interest, their own political gain, and of course they're working for the evil, the money-grubbing evil powers that back American politics today, that back these corporate interests, and that back this paradigm of global domination and total control.